Welcome back to Business Talk, brought to you by the Sharonville Chamber of Commerce. I'm Brent Scarce with Emory Federal Credit Union. I'm your host, and today here in studio we have Greg Kling from Assisting Hands Home Care. Thank you for being here, Greg.
Thank you, Brett.
Tell us a little bit about Assisting Hands Home Care and kind of how long you've been around and,
Sure.
what it is that you do.
Yeah, well, at Assisting Hands, really our mission is to relieve the stress of caring for your loved ones, right? So if you think about if you have a parent or an aunt or uncle and caring for them as they age and the particular needs and things that they may have, that's really the focus of what we do as an organization. And it's all about relieving that stress so that sons and daughters can be sons and daughters. That's what's really important. So versus being a primary caregiver for somebody, that's really our emphasis.
Okay. Now that's a lot on on grown children that have their busy day-to-day lives and families that they're trying to take care of.
Absolutely, and it's for the children and things like that. Really they're under a lot of pressure because they may have children of themselves, right? They may be grandparents for that matter. Mm-hmm. Also, then trying to care for an elderly loved one, that's a significant a lot of stress on somebody. So that's why our mission is to relieve that stress. And oftentimes, they may miss work as a result of that, and so that's an impact to them. Sometimes they may decide to take vacation time. We can assist them and give them stress relief.
So what called you to this particular type of business?
Yeah, sure. So we had a life experience about 15 years ago where we took care of my wife's mother who was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. And at the time, I was traveling Monday through Friday in my career. We had 3 young kids. My wife was working full-time, and she's also an only child, and her father passed away when she was 6. So you can imagine all the pressure now is really focused on her to help her mom. And we were fortunate that we had some caregivers who helped us, and we made the decision to have her move in with us. And it was really, the compassion when we had some good caregivers who could help out. What a tremendous improvement in the quality of life, both for my mother-in-law and our family. And so when Kim and I were looking to do, changes in our careers, it was a very naturally that we direct ourselves towards home care and helping other people.
Yeah. Now, how's your industry changing, and how's that affect your business?
Well, I'd say probably the biggest thing from an industry perspective is really just, the growth of the industry. You go back 15, 20 years, which is a much, much smaller industry. Caregiving is actually the #1 growing job category in America. And so it's significant.
There's a lot of baby boomers.
There's a lot of baby boomers. The statistics are there's 10,000 people turning 65 every year. Wow. If you by 2050, just roughly 30 years from now rather, there's going to be 30 more million people 65 and older than there are now. Mm-hmm. And the statistics are that 70% of those people will need some type of assistance, before they, pass away. And so that's
we're living longer and longer.
Well, we're living longer and longer. The other thing too is, we have dementia and people living longer with dementia. That's a significant part of our business in helping people. But then also, families are smaller, right? So comparison to today there's 7 people who support somebody in their 80s, right? Yeah. Somebody who needs assistance, maybe in their 80s. And those are family members and things like that. 30 years from now, that number is going to drop to 3 to 10, right? So 3. And so it's a significant difference in just, as a country, how we're supporting our elderly. And so needs for our types of services are really just going to continue to grow as a result.
Yeah, and you help them in their homes where they're comfortable.
It's amazing what we get involved in, and we do things that I never thought we would have done. One misnomer is that we only help people in their homes. Okay. Actually, half of my clients are in their homes, but half of my clients are also either in some type of an assisted living community, or they're in some type of memory care. Okay. So we have clients that we care for in memory care sometimes to 4 hours to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Wow.
Even in a memory care unit. So it's a broad spectrum, and to give you some examples of some of the types of things that we've done in helping people. We had a client for a period of time who we took golfing, and this was a successful gentleman who had dementia and still physically fit, but his mental acuity wasn't there. And so we were able to take him out golfing to the country club a couple times, and if it was raining or something like that, then we take him to the museums and took him to Grader's Ice Cream. Heck, we even took him down to on the duck boat tours one day. Right?
Wow.
So,
I bet he really enjoyed that.
Yeah, absolutely. He really enjoyed that. His wife was very happy that he was able to get out. And I always have caregivers wanting that job. That's that's kind of the plum job is being able to take somebody out golfing.
Yeah.
And getting paid for it. So those are kind of the things on the kind of the lighter side, right? And people probably also familiar with some things you may see on TV as far as helping people just prepare meals, those types of things, helping people get ready for the day, those things. And, just as we age, those things are a little harder than they used to be, right? So we can improve the quality of life. But really, on the other side of that, kind of more the extreme side, is, we have people who are bedbound and really need help 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People who really can't ambulate, in their homes, and people who are paralyzed. We help all those people as well, so that really they maximize their quality of life.
Wow, I mean that's a huge help for families. Like you said, with most of the time that ends up on, the other family members.
Sure, no,
And
absolutely.
And knowing that there's somebody that can be trusted that'll give compassionate care.
Sure,
the way you guys do is a big load off of families.
Yeah. And one thing too is for like the family members too, it can lead to depression. For somebody who's all of a sudden thrust into needing to care for somebody that they love, and then all the other conflicts in life that they have to manage as well. That can lead to a very stressful situation. We can help out with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Now, since you started your business, are there any lessons that you've learned since you started your business?
Well, it's really the value of people. All right, so I've been very happy, and we've been very successful. My team is now I've got about 200 people who work for me, and I've got 4 full-time nurses and a great staff in the office, and really, my role as a leader of the organization is just to make sure I have just great people, helping other people, and we're all caregivers, and we invest a lot in our team and trying to grow great people in our team and supervising those people, and that's really been the key to our success so far.
Yeah, that's great. What are the biggest challenges facing your company going forward?
Yeah, really the biggest challenge is really managing and growing the team of great caregivers. Right? So, with 200 people, it's a lot of work to manage those people and make sure we're all doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
And we've got some great leadership in the human resources area that really help us identify the great talent. We also want to provide them great opportunities and a great long-term career. We've recently started to offer a full suite of benefits for our caregivers, including things like a 401k plan, those types of things that really in our industry most people don't have, and for caregivers. And so we're offering those things because we really want our caregivers to think of this as a long-term career that they can have with Assisting Hands in just really helping people and providing great compassionate care.
Yeah. That's great. How do you split up the roles at your company? Who does what?
Sure.
Is this a family business also? Or?
It is. So my wife is very much involved in a business. She's full-time, and she's done. We've all at various points in time we've all worn every single hat, right?
Well, when you're a business owner, that's pretty much the case.
You do, right? So at one point in time we did it. We've done everything, but we really have you can imagine, with a team of 200 people, we have a pretty good, size organization. And so we have a full team in the office we call them care coordinators. And there's 4 people there who really are tasked with matching the caregivers to the client and make sure that we have the right fit.
You go as far as even personalities and.
We look at personalities, we look at the physical needs, there's location. Are they allergic to dogs or cats? All those things have to be considered
you don't think about all that, but those are very key points.
There's a lot of variables that you have to think about, and so they're really tasked with doing all those things, and then we have a great leader of human resources and a great director with tons of experience. Really helps manage us, and keep us focused on our talent. Then we have a team of 4 full-time nurses, 3 RNs and an LPN, and they have anywhere from 10 years to 30 years of nursing experience. And
wow.
Nursing experience in the areas of, one of my nurses used to manage a memory care unit, right?
Okay.
Another one was a director of assisted living. Another was an executive director of another assisted living community. So, these are people who have a lot of experience, a lot of great management experience, and then they're really focused on making sure that we've got great care plans for our caregivers and our clients, make sure that those are being followed, and then just following up to make sure we're providing a good service.
That's great. So what makes you love what you do?
I spent, prior to owning Assisting Hands, I spent 15 to plus years in consulting, okay? And that was great experience, and I did a lot of great things and did some international travel as part of that. But what I missed from that is the human element and what we do to touch somebody's lives. And we have a very, very significant impact on people's personal lives. And there's a lot of trust that is given to us to make sure that somebody's safe, happy, and healthy, in their homes. And that's a tremendous responsibility that families and professionals give to us every single day. And we respect that. That's a high bar and high expectation, and so we have high expectations of ourselves. And so that's really, it's that personal touch, right? And, comments, I never got we get comments and feedback, somebody said, "You've completely changed my life."
That's powerful.
That's a powerful statement
Yeah.
For somebody to receive. And in the corporate, in kind of the big corporate world and the consulting that I used to do, I didn't have that type of personal impact on people's lives.
Yeah. So how have organizations like the Sharonville Chamber helped your business?
Yeah, well, what I really like about the Sharonville Chamber is really the network of other business owners, okay? And being a member of the Sharonville Chamber, I think, does 3 things for me, right? First of all, it helps me grow my business, right? Through networking and getting connected to other people who may be able to get me connected to, other leaders or referral sources or things like that to help me grow my business. 2, for me, it's a connection point to build personal relationships and friendships, right? And going out and doing things, after work or on the weekends with other members that I've known. And then really the kind of the third component too, and it's really key as, especially as a business owner, is having a network of other people that you can seek out for advice and counsel to help you grow your business. Because as you grow and you become an owner of a company, there's fewer people inside your company now that you can seek out for advice and counsel. You really need to seek people outside of your organization, and that's really important. And that's why the Sharonville Chamber has been excellent for helping me to do that.
A lot of other business owners that you can connect with and bounce things off.
A lot of other business owners, and also a lot of other service providers who help out organizations that you can get connected to that you need to help grow your business.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the future hold for your business?
Yeah, well, we have aggressive growth plans. So we have actually just expanded into Northern Kentucky. So we service now the 3 counties in just across the river, Northern Kentucky. So that's definitely part of our growth plans. And really, our focus for the next couple of years is just going to be continue our growth locally, but then also refine our expertise and service delivery to make that client experience the best it can possibly be. Okay, and so that's really it. And then other part of our mission statement is to improve the quality of life of our caregivers. All right, so and we tell our caregivers that there's really 2 aspects of that. There's a professional aspect, which is really focused on skills and how to do the job itself. And so we bring all of our caregivers through training. We actually just took over 150 caregivers through a training program on dementia. All right, so that's kind of on the skill side. But on the personal side, part of our commitment and part of our mission statement is to help them be the best versions of themselves that they can be. And so one of our office staff, half of her job is focused on training and education. And we want to do things such as, how do you buy a car, right? Investing, and how do you do some of those things? And if we can help our caregivers be more successful in their personal lives, that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
so, whatever we can do. So really, as you look at the future, we have some, significant goals we're trying to achieve from a growth perspective. But if you look at how we can touch the community, either from caregivers or in other ways, what's really exciting is that the door's wide open.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
Well, Greg, thank you for coming in
All right,
and
wonderful.
spending some time with us. Our guest has been Greg Kling from Assisting Hands Home Care. And till next time, I'm Britt Scares with Business Talk.